Something you guys may not know about me is I'm a bit of a Caleb Hammer hater. And so when D'Angelo Wallace decided to make a video about him in which he exposed him pretty well, I thought I was very happy. And now it seems like Jimmy Robbins has decided to expose him as well. So let's watch that video and give our reaction.
Content creation is inherently a popularity contest, right? While skills and effort are of course major components, you can't deny that creators generally need people to like them if they hope to gain long-term viewers. So most creators will respond to this by putting on their best faces while on camera. I know, people like likable people. It's not a revolutionary thought. But some creators will do the exact opposite. While plenty will grow to dislike them, creators in this role have generally evaluated the benefits of the added exposure, arguably the hardest thing to come by for anyone pursuing this field. Though what would happen if someone were to cast themselves as the villain, but can't handle people not liking them? Well, I'd say that's where you get Caleb Hammer, a notable fact that D'Angelo Wallace seems to have brought to light in a major way, almost by accident.
Nothing you said in the 4-hour live stream has disproven that. If anything, you just proved so many of my points. Dare I say every point?
You see, Caleb Hammer is a finance YouTuber who has absolutely blown up in recent years with his series Financial Audit, where he effectively sits down with people of varying financial woes and gives them the no-nonsense realities that they need to hear in order to improve their situations.
You spend $120,000 in a year!
I absolutely hate this style of content. Just some like bloated, disgusting looking person choosing to scream at people in their high-pitched, effeminate voice regarding their financial decisions. Everybody has a problem in life. I think it's very clear. Like his problem is being a closeted homosexual who can't put down the cheeseburgers and donuts, okay? Like everybody's got their own issue. In this case, the person that he's yelling at clearly has a massive financial issue, right? So to me, when I see people like absolutely laying into someone in like a vulnerable state, especially in this case financially, it does rub me the wrong way. And given that this is Caleb Hammer's entire content strategy, there was no shot I would ever like him.
You dumbass making $30,000!
You can't work a job because of your dog separation anxiety. At that point, you are not going to survive in society. And there is no budget I can make.
$250 a week on Duncan?
Probably.
$250 a fucking week on Duncan? Doing what?
Like, bro, I agree. I agree with the take here. $250 a week on Dunkin' Donuts is insane. But like his reaction makes me ill.
And I don't think it's hard to see why this format had taken off so well. The finance genre on YouTube is generally occupied by professional, soft-spoken individuals.
Look, if it wasn't clear from the title, I'm talking about home prices, the entire housing market, and why it's now literally impossible to build anything that's even remotely affordable.
The average salary in 1980 was $12,000. It is only $56,000 today. So housing went up times 10, but incomes only went up times 4.5.
According to a recent study from Ramsey Solutions, nearly half of Americans aren't saving at all for retirement, and those who do save aren't saving enough.
And personalities who do lean into a more aggressive presentation, honestly, are usually pretty out of touch with their advice.
Credit cards, stupid. Stupid. Student loans, stupid. Car payments, stupid on steroids. You know, I don't even know, 15, 20 houses, and a bunch of commercial real estate as well. How is that not greed? Because I don't own anything. I'm a Christian.
I don't own anything. I'm a Christian. Gives such like mega church pastor vibes.
And that means God owns it, and I'm managing it for him. So I guess you're calling God greedy now.
So Caleb kind of combined the best of both worlds while adding his own flair with his guests.
Actually curious, is that Ramsey financial guy religion? I feel like he's got to be evangelical with that take. Let's have a look. Dave Ramsey is a born-again Christian. That's awesome. If there's anything I've learned in my life, it's that evangelical people are fucking freaks, okay? They giga support Israel. Like it's crazy how much they support Israel. And all of those big mega churches that you see where it's like one guy who's the pastor who like owns the church and like flies in a private jet. Okay. God gave me this private jet to protect me from demons. They're always fucking evangelical Protestant crazy people. So yeah, personally, whenever I hear, oh, God gave me this wealth, I'm just managing it. Like it sounds like you're using God as like a way to sidestep the morality of your capital allocation. Like, I'm not saying don't thank God, but what I am saying is that when you say things like that, God is given, this is God's wealth, I'm just managing it. You do sound like an out of touch, crazy person. You do sound like one of those people that flies around on a private jet that the congregation of your church has paid for, and that you're saying, oh, I'm just managing God's finances. Like, no, that's not what's going on. You're living a life of wealth. Okay. Shut the fuck up.
See, since you can only repeat the same advice so many times, financial financial creators will often make use of guests that can allow them to get more into the weeds with their insight, be it call-ins like a radio show.
Hi, Mr. Ramsey. How are you?
Better than I deserve, sir. How can we help?
Or prioritizing celebrity guests.
By the way, the Ramsey guy, like, while I criticize his very evangelical take there, he has given like pretty decent advice at times. I've seen some of his clips on like YouTube Shorts or whatever the fuck. Like, he seems like a generally okay guy, but I'm always distrusting of people who talk like that.
Guests who bring their clout as appeal.
I hear constantly, you gotta buy a house. And I'm like, well, I had one for a couple years and that experience was, it was more maintenance and upkeep than I expected.
Let's walk through that. So,
all right. But Caleb opted for an approach where he would cast local individuals that get a full episode across the table from him. But as time went on, much of his content started to feel strange. It would increasingly feature these moments where people felt like Caleb's persona was no longer a straight talker genuinely rooting for his guests.
All this has landed in your lap, and I respect the shit out of you. You're doing incredible things. We just need you to take control of your financial situation.
This sounds like a very like, I want you to win, but you're not doing the things conducive to victory type of person. Like, that's the persona he sounds like he's putting on right now.
Now, and you're gonna be set.
My dream vision is to hit 100,000 subscribers. I don't expect to hit that, but it would be the dream. What is honestly most important to me is to make entertaining and educational content.
But was that of a jerk or bully?
What's your plan to lose weight?
Eat less and move more.
Okay, then do that, fatty.
You really think I'm fat?
Like, okay, now he's getting grimy with it. Now he's leaning into what does the audience want? And also, entirely possible that this is the personality he was the whole time. But now that he's got this success, now that he's got the audience, he can actually be himself. So that's the flip side, which I tend to believe.
No.
Let's talk about you.
Give us a twirl.
I don't know. Well, they said earlier that I look like Billie Eilish, so.
Huh, I could potentially see it. Do you have like the biggest tits in the world? I mean, they're not bad. Okay, well done. 2 weeks of marriage, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
That wasn't very nice.
$480 minimum monthly payment on that.
Like these closeted types, I'm telling you, bro, they're some of the most vicious, mean, gross people you'll find.
So now we're at $1,000. Are you okay? Oh, I'm sorry.
That was not very nice.
No, it wasn't. I was just trying to make a jab.
And this conversation broke to the forefront of YouTube thanks to D'Angelo Wallace.
Caleb Hammer is like, if everything wrong with YouTube was a person, I think it would actually be this dude. Have you heard about that finance guy who everybody keeps saying is posting really weird?
By the way, I used to hate on D'Angelo so much. There was a lot of content I didn't like from him. But let me say, this guy's all right. I fuck with this guy, all right? Hell yeah, D'Angelo. You expose this fucking loser.
Weird, misogynist content disguised as finance. That's bro.
You see, D'Angelo's a commentary creator who has been around. I mean, hell, Vulture quite literally dubbed him the receipt keeper of YouTube during a feature about him all the way back in 2021. He's a commentary and video essay creator, best known for various callouts.
I didn't like this era. I like lean maxed. I like my lean maxed D'Angelo Wallace.
Unapologetic takedowns of various individuals that he deems problematic.
He's also known as one of the sweetest and most genuine people, despite everyone also knowing that he built his entire platform off of literal degeneracy.
Sonny begins doing this weird pros and cons analysis of what will happen if Chris continues to transition through the lens of, and I kid you not, how it will affect Mr. Beast's YouTube channel performance. You would have known then, as I currently know at age 25.
In fairness, while Sonny could not completely get it right, it did turn out that Chris Tyson did end up being a bit of a problem in the sense that they had commissioned stuff from Shadman and there was some like interesting Discord stuff. Anyways, listen, I don't remember the whole story. There's a reason why Chris Tyson's no longer associated with Mr. Beast.
Currently know at age 25 that nobody this age should need an explanation for why a 17-year-old is off limits.
And that last example was one of his most
Yeah, 25, 17. Cody Ko, man. Cody Ko. But hey, he's fine. He's fine. Nothing happened. He's doing his DJ shit. He's doing his running shit. It just goes to show if you're the right kind. Anyways.
Impactful moments, as Wallace was the creator to bring Cody Ko's statutory scandal, which was at this point being ignored by the wider YouTube space, to the forefront of conversation.
D'Angelo Wallace gave some amazing coverage breaking down the entire situation here and going over everything that Cody Ko is accused of.
In fact, this...
By the way, now that I'm 25, because at the time when this story broke, I think I was like 23. Even back then, I knew it was wrong, but now that I'm 25, not only like it feels so gross to think about somebody who's like a friend of mine being 25 and going after someone who's like a senior in high school. Are you fucking kidding me? Like 17?
This particular example was so effective that it directly led to Cody Ko being shunned by most of his audience, though plenty have stuck around, as well as creators at large. And while D'Angelo's main channel is fairly inactive, he's still making similar content on his second, where he adapts his format to a live unscripted version that he compiles highlights from in order to cut them into basically traditional commentary videos, which is an effective way to adapt, provided you remain mindful of the risks of unscripted commentary, like having a lower capacity to fact check. And D'Angelo decided—
True. That is real. That is real. I mean, listen, the issue with scripted content is it's hard to do, and you can only upload so much, and YouTube wants you to upload as much as you can for as long as you can, and that's why you see live stream channels doing well, you know?
decided to take aim at Caleb on January 31st, 2026.
Anyways, enjoy, unless you're Caleb Hammer. You are not going to enjoy this. I'm just going to be honest with you, brother.
In a way that was actually kind of similar to his takedown of Cody Ko, in that D'Angelo isn't the first person that I've seen talk about these grievances, but he is one of the largest creators to put it all together and speak out. But what am I talking about? Well, creators will often form their brands around a core personality trait that they lean on more as time goes by. Kind of like a real-life version of Flanderization, where a minor quirk for a character slowly takes them over completely, leaving them completely unrecognizable from their debut.
My name's Cat, like the animal. What's that supposed to mean? And I'm gonna count to 10. Don't forget 3. Some people forget it.
There is no deeper with me, Mr. Feeney. I'm not a good student. My name is Plays with Squirrels.
This can perhaps most easily be seen with the founding Try Guys, composed of a trademark enthusiast, opposite an aloof counterpart.
Do you want us to hug you right now?
No. A neurotic little guy.
Excellent. Other hand.
He did not say to scream, Eugene. That was terrifying.
And the wife guy, who is just the world's best husband. Please don't ever fact check that.
My wife. My wife? My wife. My wife.
I cheated on my wife with an employee of my business.
And while this can be useful—
Damn, these are some good examples.
certainly streamlines branding, it isn't risk-free, because if you've opted for an intentionally edgy or abrasive brand, it becomes harder and harder to adequately toe that line while still consistently trying to top yourself. Don't say it, I know how that sounded, but we're moving right along. And I alluded to this being the case with Caleb, but how? But first, I gotta thank today's sponsor.
By the way, I definitely agree with what he's saying here. I found that struggle with myself when I was making like edgier content. Like you get into this loop of like, now, okay, I've said a bunch of crazy shit. Now I want to offer an opinion that's like a little bit more lukewarm. That's a little bit like, it's something I agree with, but it might not fit the persona, the edgy persona that I'm going for. And so you kind of reach this like character conflict. Like obviously in this case, they're discussing people that like are a certain way and then lean into that even more on their content. For me, what I found was that online I was always a certain way, where I was like this like kind of aggressive, edgy. I liked the entertainment side of things. I was very into like all that like leafy iDubbbz bullshit, especially as a teenager. But then like you hit this like this area where, you know, outside of online discourse, like you're continually growing as a person and your opinions are shifting, but like your online persona is kind of static because you're still appealing to that audience that likes that person that you are online. So as I'm shifting into this like probably more left-leaning Libby type guy, I still have like this chud persona. And it's like, how do I connect these two? I feel like I'm doing a decent job now.
Sir, Hungry Root. Look, sometimes I just don't have time for proper— Thanks to Hungry Root for helping keep the lights on. Now back to the video. Well, the dude—
Shout out that company for paying Jimmy Robbins. He deserves more money, actually. Give him more money.
Just doesn't have a filter. I mean, just from the clips that D'Angelo uses, Caleb talks like someone you would never willingly have a second conversation with.
So are you okay with your woman looking like this?
He proposed to me in Vietnam earlier this year.
Oh, he's such a little gay boy.
He was born in Vietnam.
Okay. Does he know what you're saying when you propose these plans? This a little gay, fat— What?
Little gay fat? Is he describing himself? Ayo.
Fat Vietnamese guy that has a domineering clown goth woman.
You see, D'Angelo argues that much of Caleb's content is trying to appeal to an edgier, likely far-right, audience.
You have this dude on here, right here, on the left. You have this dude on here, right here, on the left, who is actually a deadbeat, out here wasting his partner's money, spending it all on OnlyFans, and the video is named Financial Audit's First Affair. You don't get any of this insane language, but then you take a woman who it really seems like her biggest sin was actually just being annoying, ? And she is the one who gets called the dumb spoiled B word, he effing hates her, etc. Essentially, this dude is making anti-SJW content.
This is done thanks to the thumbnails.
Whenever he's talking about a woman, the video titles are actually insane. So here's a man, for example. He says, arrogant freak. So for the dudes on the channel, they may get called arrogant freaks, right? They may get called kind of dumb or whatever. How come whenever he has a woman on the channel that he's not rocking with, you get titles like dumb spoiled B word, I effing hate her.
As well as, well, a lot of his
dumb spoiled B word. Like, I effing hate her is such an awesome addition.
Of his speaking, especially when it comes to women.
I hadn't been on a date for 5 years. We went back to my place, tried to hook up. She didn't want to. And I was like, okay, please leave. And she left. And then she freaked the fuck out, got me banned on Hinge and stuff.
What? What? Hold on. Sorry. What?
Don't want to. And I was like, okay, please leave. And she left. And then for 5 years,
hate her.
As well as, well, a lot of his speaking, especially when it comes to women.
I hadn't been on a date for 5 years.
I hadn't been on a date for 5 years.
Back to my place, tried to hook up. She didn't want to. And
went back to my place and tried to hook up. She didn't want to. So I kicked her out.
I was like, okay, please leave. And she left. And then she freaked the fuck out, got me banned on Hinge and stuff.
So the person who he was talking about here came forward talking about how he was touching her without consent. This is actually a vendetta against women. This was a whole year ago. And
oh my fucking God, this is awesome. This is what a fucking freak. This is, get out of here.
Very much explains everything about the way he talks to every single woman. How dare this woman.
By the way, having not gone on a date for 5 years and then immediately trying to hook up with the first date you get is insane. But might I add, if she says no, like, you don't have to kick her out. You know, you can just like talk and like have some wine and like see where things go. Like, you don't have to immediately try to hook up. And, you know, maybe she wants to hook up with you later, or maybe she doesn't. And maybe you guys have another date and then you hook up then. I don't know, but it doesn't, you don't like, the expectation that you're going to hook up on the first date is insane. By the way, you're Caleb Hammer. Like, you think you're like some Playboy fucking, I'm sorry. I don't know anyone who would want to hook up with you in general.
Woman come forward. Hey, that's kind of weird, actually, that the first time you ever popped off is because you seem to have framed this video really negatively against a woman. It's fascinating.
Consent to roast you and whatnot and stuff before I go into this whole thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, then why the fuck are your tits pointed to the ceiling? And then why this? Because
oh my God, dude. Is this a financial audit, or are you like going after her looks? Recently, we did a video where H3 Ela Klein was going after Denim's appearance, talking about how she looked cheap. She looked, you know, not as good as Emiru. Okay. And I pointed out that's hilarious for someone like Ela Klein to say, because, like, let's just be real, you know, she's not an attractive person, and typically people like to compare her to a four-legged. Anyways, point is, people don't find her attractive. I'll be real, I don't like criticizing women's looks online. I try my best not to, because I do think it's really gross, and I especially could not see myself criticizing a woman's looks if she's just some fucking random person. You know, like this girl that's on Caleb Hammer, right? Let's
every single, because you and whatnot.
You never seen a.
This chick is a random person. This is a normal, I mean, normal in quotations, but this is a person that like is not an online character. This is not somebody who's an influencer. Okay. When I'm going after like Ela Klein, all right, who's like a fucking Israeli shill, Zionist, was in the IDF, is a disgusting human being, who also herself in that same video is criticizing another woman's looks, I then feel you've given me authority, you've given me the ability to go after you in that way. This is just some chick getting a financial audit. She's like a normal person, okay? She's got some crazy makeup. Why are we going after her appearance? Especially talking about her breasts, which, like, women's bodies, I mean, listen, dude, I don't gotta tell you, like, it's not something that most women are gonna feel comfortable talking about.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, then why the fuck are your tits pointed to the ceiling? And then why this? Because
you never seen a goth person?
The idea of actually commenting on somebody's body like this within a minute of encountering them is
okay, I didn't know it was within a minute. That's even more crazy.
Wild to me.
As well as people of color.
Also, he's racist. So the boyfriend in question is Vietnamese, and he just starts going down the list of the normal things that people do when they're trying to be racist.
No, he was born in Vietnam.
Okay. Does he know what you're saying when you propose these plans?
And then he just goes on and mocks the guy's accent.
I'm just seeing the picture. To be very clear, it's just you have an idea and he's like, okay.
No, why does he have that accent?
That was like a very Indian accent. That wasn't even Vietnamese.
Because he was born and raised in Vietnam.
Well, first of all, he moved here when he was like 11. So he's been here longer in the United States than in Vietnam.
Right.
By like,
which means they usually still have an accent sometimes.
We're done.
Among other examples.
Oh my god, yeah, it is kind of embarrassing.
That I'll touch on later. Now, D'Angelo was primarily arguing that Caleb's content was harmful due to the fact that his edgy language is actually normalizing a lot.
This is why people don't come forward. I am blaming Caleb Hammer. Earlier this week, we were already talking about the resurgence of the R slur. If you're wondering the trickle-down effects and what kinds of people are pushing this, it's people like this. You shouldn't be using slurs or for people who have autism, but because he is like going there, if you will, you have all these people sort of hailing him as like the resurgence of anti-SJW content.
And I don't think this is an unsubstantiated stance. I mean, you can't really deny that Caleb's presentation would be very appealing to people that also...
I keep giving my take on the R slur, so I'm gonna do it again. I'm trying to stop. I'm a recovering addict. Listen. I just don't like the way it sounds when I say it, when it comes out of my mouth, and women in my life have pointed it out to me, and I value their opinion. Okay, sorry, I know it comes off as soy, but they tell me, it's like, yo, like, it sounds really gross when I hear you say this. And then I listen to it back and I'm like, why did I say that? There's a lot of content where I'm saying like slurs or whatever the fuck, and I'm just like, why the fuck did I say that? I sound like such a fucking chud. I sound so gross. And listen, I'm not trying to be like some giga inclusive person. I mean, I say that like, I don't want to be exclusive, you know, I don't want to be pushing people away unless like I find them like gross or hateful, whatever the fuck. But I don't think I need to be like explicitly, you know, slurifying my content, you know. I definitely completely dropped the F slur. All right, that one's out of the vernacular. Let's go. God bless. Okay. The R slur is just that one fucking, you know, that's my cigarette. All right. It's hard for me to quit. I'm on nicotine patches. I'm trying. And listen, 99% of the time I don't say it. And then somebody says something extremely R-worded and they're like a fucking idiot. And I just, you know, something takes over. It's the Green Goblin mask. What do you want me to say?
So speak or want to speak in this way to others.
Look at some of these comments right here. Imagine looking like this and thinking you're right about anything. They no longer...
In fairness, that person did look very fucked up. Sorry.
Others.
Look at some of these comments right here. Imagine looking...
I mean, so I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. D'Angelo, I support what you're saying. This is like the worst. I know we're not supposed to judge on appearances. This is like the hardest one for me to defend here, dude. Like this is a set of fashion choices that are hard for me to defend. This isn't even like natural appearance. I mean, this trim is crazy. These glasses, I mean, I'm sorry, bro. Like what do you want me to, how am I supposed to defend this? How?
Looking like this and thinking you're right about anything. They no longer have any power. Nobody cares anymore. Caleb Hammer became popular not only because he's good at finances, but it's because he doesn't sugarcoat things. Oh, look at this. The mental illness is strong in this one.
So
okay, yeah, that's a little...
Caleb decided to defend himself pretty much within seconds, responding to D'Angelo's entire life.
Also, the other issue with the mental illness one is that like a lot of these people who probably have those rings would probably self-identify with mental illness. Listen, I don't want to, you know... but you don't want to criticize mental illness, I guess. I don't know.
Live stream with a crew of his employees before D'Angelo could even post the highlight reel the following day.
Before I could even cut this video, he reacted to that live for 4 hours straight. He is in there calling me slurs.
What is wrong with you?
He's just...
Okay. Listen. I'm not... Listen. Yes, it's a slur. I agree. But like, if we're saying slurs, I need something harder than that. I need a bad one.
In general, it's a crash out of biblical proportions.
I don't want to hear. You've never helped one person in your damn life.
Now, obviously, this is Jimmy Robbins putting together this cut. But like, if the only slur you got called is the R word, it's bad. But it's not the worst thing that could have happened, right? There's like at least two. Anyways, sorry, that's fucked up. Sorry. Let me be clear. I'm on D'Angelo's team, but you know, I gotta call it where it is.
He's just, in general, it's a crash out of biblical proportions.
I don't want to hear. You've never helped one person in your damn life, and you'll never be remembered for anything. You have no legacy. You're pathetic. You're a slop commentator. You are nothing. Sit the down. No contributor of anything in this entire world.
What is this? Why are we freaking out like this? You have contributed nothing to society. What are you contributing? You just yell at people in your fucking closeted gay voice.
Shut the f up. You were gone for a year and no one cared and no one's life changed.
And his argument.
What? What is this?
Arguments largely hinge on a few things. One, that he's just playing the game, that this is what drives success for his business, so what more can you expect from him?
I made the bold claim.
Straight Mr. Beastification of YouTube, by the way.
That actually it's super weird to, within the first minute of meeting somebody, mention their boobs. But you know what? Caleb
I very much agree with that.
Was like, nah, fam.
Welcome to content. Dude, I'm literally making content.
Welcome to content, bro. Bro, I understand that. Like you want to hook people in, but don't at a certain point, a guy like D'Angelo Wallace is allowed to go, this guy's kind of misogynistic. The first thing he said to this woman is, why are your tits pointed to the ceiling? I don't know, man. Maybe you're like, you shouldn't be objectifying a woman a minute into your video, a minute into meeting them. Like, is that too much to ask? Oh, it's for the content, bro. Yeah, but like, there's limits, no?
Content. What do you think you're doing? You're over sensationalizing this for content. That's what I was doing there. Do you not know how YouTube works?
Second, he asserts that the guests know what they're getting into, so being offended on their...
At the end of the day, whether or not that's how YouTube works, you have the ability, you have the decision to act a certain way. You don't have to. And by the way, other people in the financial audit sphere don't mention, a woman's tits a minute into the video. By the way, just mentioning it in general is a bit insane. You're a financial auditor, not a fucking breast. You don't have a license to examine breasts, okay?
Their behalf is almost undercutting their own agency as peoples.
We tell them how crazy the episode's gonna be and how the thumbnails and titles are gonna be, and we ask if they're okay with it. They consented, you didn't, you don't matter. It doesn't matter what you think.
At one point, he was calling a woman's autistic dog.
Also, let me be so clear. Listen, these are two men. Hold on. I'm not memeing. D'Angelo Wallace, gender identity. Presents as male, he, him. All right. We're going to go with the AI summary right there. So these are two men. D'Angelo is mogging your ass. Look at, bro, D'Angelo lean maxed. He's got a jawline. Look at the facial structure. You can see, bro, D'Angelo's a good looking guy now. All right. You're some fucking fat, gross. Look at your fucking greasy little smile, bro. You all right, hold on.
They consented, you didn't, you don't matter. It doesn't matter what you think.
At one point, he was calling
clear skin, glowing,
a woman's autistic daughter the R slur, and so this is what he says.
I said it for an outrageous moment.
Look at this neck. Where does your chin start? Where does your chin end and your neck begin? What is this like undercarriage you've got here? What is this? Disgusting.
That she consented to. She consented to. I talked to her about it before we started filming. You don't.
What a aesthetically lacking human being. How are you gross on the inside and out? Like, you know how they say genetic lottery, like to get to the top? He hit the genetic lottery like in reverse. You know what I mean? Okay, that's enough making fun of him. Let's actually listen to the video.
Moment.
Was calling a woman's autistic daughter the R slur, and
so he okay, crazy. You're calling a child an R slur? Not cool, especially if they're autistic. What the fuck?
So this is what he says.
I said it for an outrageous moment that she can.
That's okay. People are gonna hold that against you. Whether you like, oh, I did it for the content. Okay, so
consented to. She consented to. I talked to her about it before we started filming.
She consented to it. Brother,
you don't know anything. You're offended on behalf of someone who is not offended.
At which point Caleb went on to,
you're allowed to be offended for other people. That's you're allowed to see something happen and go, ew, that was really gross. Actually, that's like a violation of my morals. What the fuck is that? I don't like that.
Push the big red button, repeatedly threatening to sue D'Angelo for this stream.
He's threatening to sue me.
If you don't think I know how to do legal strategy, you have no idea what's happening behind the scenes. I destroy people.
Like, oh man, I can't stop looking underneath his chin. Like, look at that fucking neck, bro. What is that? Sorry. Yo, I was just talking about how you can't like talk about women's appearances. The dudes all day, Caleb Hammer. Oh my god. It's just gross, bro. And obviously he's like, I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you, D'Angelo. You said mean things about me online. I'm gonna sue you.
Boy, people, I will destroy you. You don't get to do this without consequences.
So power hungry. So Ethan Klein pilled. You don't get to do this without repercussions. You dare criticize me online? Like, that's literally what he does for a living, by the way. Like, Caleb Hammer literally criticizes people online for a living, criticizes how they live their life, criticizes how they spend their money, criticizes if their tits are looking at the ceiling, criticizes makeup, okay? Like, this is what he does for a living. Somebody else calls him out, and all of a sudden, I'm gonna sue you! I'm gonna fucking sue you! Oh my god.
Multiple threats to sue me.
Dude, do you not know what you are doing right now? You are literally walking yourself into a I'm talking to my lawyers on Monday or Tuesday.
Specifically,
like what a gross human. What a, like, genuinely inside and out gross.
Caleb stated that he would be doing so because of D'Angelo's deceptive discussion around his financial planning course.
I can't sit here and call this a scam.
Stop. He's got $7,000 personal audit experience. Are you fucking kidding me? By the way, 86% off, so that the $1,000 seems like a deal. This guy's giving financial advice while he's selling a fucking... Oh my god.
Scam. But I could definitely sit here and say this is predatory. It just straight up is.
100% predatory. 100. You're not... I feel that way. 100% that feels predatory.
This is obviously for people who don't have a good grip on their finances. And you're like, well, I can fix it for you for $1,000.
Which D'Angelo had criticized.
What guy has 1,000? Like, if you're in that mentality, if you're in that situation where you're broke and you need help, there's no fucking way that spending $1,000 on a financial audit from your favorite fucking YouTuber is what you need in that moment.
Criticized alongside Caleb's app.
This is one of the lowest rated Google apps I have ever seen in my life. You have a 1.8. For you to own
1.8 stars. I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you for talking about my 1.8 stars online.
Only have your fans installing this app and still have a 1.8.
But there were some issues there. One, the YouTube space hates lawsuits. It is almost impossible for a creator to announce their intention to sue another without heaps of backlash.
Caleb Hammer threatening to sue D'Angelo Wallace is like the most cowardly baby boy move.
100%. 100%. And it is always people with more financial ability to sue that are targeting people with less financial ability to sue. It's always like that. It's always like that. Look at H3. There's a reason why, rather than targeting a Hasanabi, rather than targeting an XQC, if he really cared about copyright, he targeted Casey Tron, who barely pulls views, has no influence, has dependents, people that are like, actually, like her parents are fucking sick or something, targets the brokest of the broke content creators to go after. Same with Denims. I'm not saying Denims is as broke as Casey Tron. Look at Frogan, another person that he targeted. He targeted people that he knew would have to roll over and give him what he wants. That's what these people do. When these people get to a status where they have enough money and they have enough power, they will abuse it every fucking time. And so when you see it, immediately disconnect from these types of content creators. Caleb Hammer, if you like his content, you like his personality, the fact that he was willing to say, I'm going to sue you, that should tell you all you need to know about what kind of person he is. When he has power, he will abuse it. When he has money, he will abuse it. All that D'Angelo was doing was the exact same shit that Caleb does to people on his podcast. He was criticizing them for their decisions and the way that they decide to live their lives. Like that's straight up what D'Angelo decided to do in that video, and it's exactly what Caleb Hammer does, except Caleb Hammer wants to sue D'Angelo for it.
This is how content creators police themselves. Somebody says or does something crazy, a bunch of content creators throw jabs at them, that original content creator is free to defend themselves. Second we start getting the law involved, all of this stops being fun. This is like a UFC fighter suing another UFC fighter for hurting him too much.
And on top of the points made by Danny Mata involving precedent, there's also just status. Nobody likes being reminded that almost every huge YouTuber, at least ones that primarily produce long-form content, is rich.
Dude, I could retire tomorrow. I'm sorry. I have more money than you'll ever have in this.
It is fucking gross. It really is. Because who wants to hear that? If you're in the audience of a YouTuber like this, you're probably not rich. You're probably not doing that well. You're probably watching it on your fucking break at work, or you're in high school, whatever the fuck. You don't want to hear Caleb Hammer goes, I can retire tomorrow. I don't need this. Like who wants to hear that?
Having again, that's not a fucking brag. I'm sorry.
It's not a brag. Yo, obviously it's a fucking brag, bro.
It's really not, but it is true. It is true.
I personally think like, oh, I don't have to sell anyone out because I'm already super rich is hilarious.
Like for most people, a lawsuit in response to feeling slighted is a laughable suggestion because who can afford that these days? Saying I am going to sue you is also saying I have resources and money that I'm actively leveraging for personal gain. But also, sue D'Angelo for what? I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but Caleb seemed to assume that D'Angelo was speaking factually. Like he had knowingly presented.
I love Jimmy Robbins, man. This guy makes great content. I remember, what was his last video that I fucking loved? He made one of, oh, man, once I see it, he made one against, I remember the first time I had found out about him, he made a video on, yes, Nick is not green, because that was a situation that I was relatively interested in at the time, that I was covering even.
He presented a false statement as true.
You can't just say it's a scam. You never took it. But you saying that in front of thousands of people, buddy, I'm going to sue you. It is objectively not a scam.
Well, he didn't. He ended up taking back the scam take and said that he felt that it was predatory, which I think is a fair thing to say. You've got a product that you're saying is $7,000 and you're marking it down 86%, and it's always marked down 86%. Like, let me have a look. Let me take a look at the website. Actually, fuck it, let's do it. Caleb Hammer Financial Audit. Let's see. So here, let's go on his website. Let's go. Where's his Master Your Money Education? So let's see. Does he still have it up? Here we go. Yeah, like, dude, this whole situation happened weeks ago. Why is this still 86% off? I'll tell you why it's still 86% off. Because this price is irrelevant. This price is never. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. This price is not the price. This is not the actual price, $7,000. But this is what a lot of people do. That it's like it's ClickFunnels. What they're trying to do is get you to make a decision based on, oh, 86% off. Oh, what the fuck? That's such a good deal. But the reality is it's a $1,000 product. Okay, that's what he's selling. He's selling a $1,000 product, but he's putting this price here so that you have the mentality that it's 86% off. And again, this is a financial audit guy. He knows what he's doing. He knows that people that are financially irresponsible are going to look at this, see the big number, 7,000, see the 86% off and go, you know what? I need to fix my finances. Let me spend $1,000. You gotta spend money to make money. You know, that's what he's banking on. This is 100% predatory in my opinion. This is disgusting. Because the reality is, when has it ever been a $7,000 product? You know? Anyways, let's watch more of this.
We put a lot of effort in, a lot of research, and worked with a lot of experts on those. You're done.
But for starters, that's almost impossible to prove.
An average person just has to prove somebody said something about me and it hurt me and it was false. Celebrities have to prove more. What a public figure has to show is not only was there a false statement, but that it was done with actual malice. They did that on purpose. They wanted to hurt you.
I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't think that there's like I want to hurt you here. It's like, no, you're seeing a product on a website and you're going, oh, what the fuck is that? Like, that seems weird. You know, that pricing seems off. $1,000. Why is it down from 7,000? Like, I don't. It doesn't come off as malice. It comes off as like, what the fuck am I looking at?
What's more, D'Angelo could not have been more clearly simply stating his opinion.
I can't sit here and call this a scam, but I could definitely sit here and
he literally says, I can't call it a scam, but it seems predatory.
Say this is predatory. It just straight up is. This is obviously for people who don't have a good grip on their finances, and you're like, well, I can fix it for you for $1,000. Allowing people to do this is, to me personally, so deeply irresponsible, especially knowing that it's probably.
Again, I need to stress this. This D'Angelo Wallace video came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago. This is a long time ago. Well, a long time ago for the internet. Long enough where we're in February, okay? This was a video done in January. Don't you think that the sale would have ended by now? Or, you know? No, it's because it's always on sale. I fucking hate that shit. That shit drives me crazy. It genuinely, you're playing with somebody's psychology. It's the same thing where they say, oh, you've got 10 minutes before the sale's gone. And they put a little clock, a little timer. Fuck you, man. I know this thing is always on sale.
Probably likely to draw people in who are already struggling.
So on top of everything else that makes YouTuber lawsuits generally unpopular, the fact that this case is not even really a good one only made Caleb look worse. Like he's trying to use his resources to forcibly silence any naysayers.
One of my main points was that if you go to Caleb's earlier content, he's not acting like this constantly in all of his videos. It's forced. And Caleb says,
I also find Caleb's response funny because this feels like D'Angelo trying to give Caleb's character some credit. Yeah, true.
My assertion that he's faking a personality for views is worth suing over.
Tyler, am I me or am I fakey?
You're very real.
Literal liar. And actually that's a lie.
So when Caleb is actually owning this like shitty, gross persona, all he's doing really is telling the audience, no, I am an asshole. I am a piece of shit. I am somebody who is detestable and dislikable.
Against our business, I could sue you.
While D'Angelo is literally like, I think on the inside, he's actually a good person, but he's playing it up for the cameras. Caleb's like, no, I'm a piece of shit. I promise you.
And maybe I will. I have unlimited money.
Now, I can't read minds, and I would love to assume that it's a misunderstanding, but my take doesn't really matter here because we're talking about how Caleb is being perceived. And between his general demeanor and this threat, people were not kind to Caleb.
He threatens to sue everyone. That's like his go-to, but like he hasn't.
Yeah, he likes to threaten to sue. He threatened to sue D'Angelo. His video was literally called "I'm suing D'Angelo Wallace."
If you don't think I know how to do legal strategy, you have no idea what's happening behind the scenes. I destroy people. I will.
He's such an embarrassing person, bro. Just like,
destroy you.
I'm destroying it. Like, why? I can't. Like,
in fact, I would argue that this threat was the only reason.
Shout out these women. Emasculate him. Emasculate him.
And the story spread beyond D'Angelo's audience. It's certainly why I heard about it. And be it because of this or something else entirely, Caleb eventually extended an olive branch in a stark 180.
He comes back and pins a comment and says, I'm sure D'Angelo is a good guy in general, and I know the internet slop community can get pretty intense.
Which D'Angelo responded to by lighting said olive branch on fire.
He seems to think we could be friends or something. I do truly think this man has underestimated the levels of haterade I bring to this game.
And while D'Angelo did provide counter...
Fuck, man. I love D'Angelo, bro. I know. Listen. Maybe it was because I was more chuddy. I couldn't see the value in D'Angelo Wallace. But he brings something to the game that I appreciate. And I mean, bro, you're gonna come back to the internet and criticize the guy that I hate most? I fucking detest Caleb Hammer.
Counter arguments to Caleb's defense, he then just really dialed things up.
Imagine if you had just put this out first and not done the whole 4-hour live stream, we wouldn't even be here. And I wouldn't be about to share your allegations that people were talking about.
Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God, stop.
Which I didn't even know. You're 23 years old talking about kids like this. I would like to personally stick my in the hole of his. Any hole will do, thank you. Being told, Caleb, dude, the person you're talking about is like 14. Caleb.
This is awesome. Caleb's oh my God. Okay, let's see what does Caleb say after dude he's like 14.
Caleb saying, nah, he's actually probably older than that. If it's legal to be with 17-year-olds there, it's legal here. Being told, Caleb, you're 23, this is gross.
But now that we all know what happened,
bro, what the fuck is that?
Let's revisit that idea that I introduced at the start.
By the way, that was a guy. Caleb pretends he's straight. Huh.
Caleb cast himself as a villain despite not being able to handle that role. What did I mean? Well, when saying that Caleb is unrestrained during his content, that's putting it pretty mildly. Like, while he presents his tone as tough love, it has gone beyond that into personal attacks, like some of the ones you've already seen, and loads of others that wind up making the rounds. To the point that D'Angelo and Caleb's viewers alike have noticed the dramatic shift in his on-camera persona since he was—
By the way, I just want to tell you guys this now. Now that Jimmy Robbins has dropped a video, now that D'Angelo Wallace is— By the way, D'Angelo Wallace, I want you guys to remember this. D'Angelo Wallace is the one that started this. In the same way that he started the wave against Cody Ko, D'Angelo Wallace, I hope, is remembered again for starting the Caleb Hammer hate train. Because there was rumblings, but nobody really did it. And now D'Angelo did it. I am so happy. I cannot wait for all the content that's going to come out about Caleb Hammer.
He was getting started.
I'm telling you, this is why they don't suffer here.
I did see something on here that made me very happy. That's a lupe tortilla.
I go there every Friday.
Every Friday, really?
Yeah.
Dang. I love lupe tortilla. I really do.
Yep.
I've been trying to tell y'all that this is actually a form of performance, all of it. Caleb has jumped the shark. I think it's become more of a drama channel than anything. Sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators of Caleb Hammer.
And here's the thing, being intentionally off-putting is counterintuitively a viable strategy for YouTube when played right. And I've seen this be done in 3 ways. It can be a redemption arc where a creator is intentionally horrible in order to get word of mouth to blow them up.
And I was like, how can I make a lot of money? And I was like, let me just, troll the internet and make money in any way that I possibly could.
I think there's someone hanging right there.
Only to suddenly stop with the antics, wait a year or 2, and then pat themselves on the back for their growth.
In the past 3 years alone, like I'm a completely different person than the dude who did that.
And I looked
By the way, he's still a piece of shit.
back at my videos, and I'm like, well, some of them are pretty bad, but
she's still a piece of shit.
I try to give myself grace and forgiveness with that because I used to be really hard on myself. I'm like, I know, I suck, I'm problematic.
But that's risky because if you look carefully enough, the pieces of who they really are start to show through.
I cannot promote gambling, but I do like to do it.
Well, who's sponsoring this episode?
Oh, well, shout out to DraftKings Golden Nugget Online Casino.
I literally make a living off of people not liking me. And I have to be honest with you.
Crypto Zoo.
It's fantastic.
But that's not Caleb's approach, at least so far. Caleb's still only ramping things up and seems to have doubled down by using this publicity to start trying to push his product, even going so far as to present the post as if it was an apology to D'Angelo.
What happened?
Well, my first attempt at building a budgeting app, it didn't go over very well.
So okay, he's not going for a redemption. So alternatively, you can do what Zach Justice and, to a lesser extent, Trevor Wallace do, where they portray a conventionally unlikable character, but deliver every line with such irony and sarcasm that it circles back around to being funny.
Hey Dad, I want you to meet my boyfriend Zach.
So these guys are comedians. Like, that's not at all the same thing, right? Let's see where Jimmy's going with this.
It's pretty cool. We got the same nickname, Daddy.
Because he's talking about gay sex a little too much.
Yeah, thank God.
It's like, come on.
What are your
like,
thoughts on
did
gay
you-
sex?
And honestly, I think that might be what Caleb thinks he's doing. Like, when he's not on, he at least seems more sincere.
You're in a loving spirit, and that's why, you know, it's hitting you emotionally. And I love that. I can respect that, and I do respect it. And I love that about you. That's a great personality trait.
But I don't know, man. You tell me if these are delivered like a joke.
It's just a little gay, fat Vietnamese guy that has a domineering clown goth woman. It was 18,003.
I mean, it just sounds like that's what he believes.
$300.85.
Okay. Also, Caleb's not putting on a persona. Like, he's already openly admitted that this is who he is.
Crazy die.
Okay, at least I know where to go when I die.
2 weeks of marriage, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
That wasn't very nice.
Man, she really didn't like that, eh? Fuck. I hate seeing a woman cry. It's bad. It's so bad. I know. Listen. Anyways, I don't want to get into it. It's just bad.
Okay, if that's not what's happening, that mainly just leaves him with the option of pulling a Jake Paul or Aiden Ross and owning it.
But I wouldn't be surprised that a closeted homosexual wouldn't care.
Just be the villain.
Jake told me he wanted to be a villain in movies, and he just made the movie his life.
He really, that's so accurate.
He's the real life villain.
And I just wanted, from the bottom of my heart, apologize for absolutely fucking nothing. Okay? I'm Aiden Ross, and Aiden Ross is what the he says.
Hell,
I mean, like, I think it's like, if you want to make these comparisons to other content creators, be like, look, example. Like, I guess it's good for a video essay. I'd prefer if Jimmy stayed on Caleb here.
Do it well enough and you can make millions from people hate watching the chance to see you get knocked out. But Caleb was actively getting upset at these criticisms.
I don't think you know this because everyone around you tells you you're a good person. You are a bad person.
I just feel like
you are a negative force in this world. You fucking stupid.
Oh, okay. I'm actually seeing the comparison now. Okay, yeah. I'm a little slow. What do you want me to say? But like, yeah, like if you're gonna be the villain, you have to take that role and run with it. Caleb's trying to have his cake and eat it too, where, oh yeah, I'm the villain. I'll say these like crazy things about you. But then also, if you say crazy things about me, I'm gonna sue you.
Stupid piece of over-sensationalizing. You have done no research. You have ruined your career.
Over-sensationalizing shit. Like that's your whole fucking job, bro. That's your whole fucking life, Caleb.
This show is not for you, and that's okay.
See you in court.
He wasn't pulling the what are you gonna do about it act. He was trying to defend his reputation, which again is what draws me to that second option. And here's the thing, the whole unapologetically brutal approach is going to turn some people against you no matter what, especially those particularly sensitive to political correctness. But towing that line requires keeping in mind the implication of your words, and I think that Caleb has gotten so fixated on this persona that he either doesn't realize or care about the implications of what he's saying and how certain things make him come off. Because Caleb will say things trying to be edgy that unquestionably come with some very serious underlying messaging, and I'm not even talking about fixating on thumbnails. One particular clip that D'Angelo showed was this.
I'm trying to get, so my daughter's autistic.
Well, that's
I do everything remotely.
You have a kid that has so.
Dude, that's so fucked up. You don't say that about someone who's autistic, especially someone's kid. Ugh, that's not even funny. That's just gross. Like literally, that's definitionally not like, that's the worst time you can say it. It's not even like like your buddy does something stupid. You say, you call him the R word, that's bad, but it's not, you calling some fucking woman's kid. Sorry, let me restate that. You're calling a woman's kid the R word when they're autistic. What are we doing?
I'm trying to get, so my daughter's autistic.
Well, that's
I do
the thing. You have
remotely.
a kid that has so.
She's not.
Well, but you're getting payments.
No, it's not payments.
Oh my God, he's calling them R word payments. Like what an embarrassing showing.
So here's the thing. Already, people are divided on if use of that word in conversation is ever appropriate, even as a substitute for stupid. But even then, I would expect a stronger majority to agree that you don't use the word in the context in which it was used to discriminate. Like, he's straight up
Yeah, undeniably. I don't think anyone in their right mind is saying, yeah, you should call an autistic child an R word to their mother's face. Like, it goes without saying. What a fucking dumbass.
Insisting that that label applies to her child because she has a mental disability, and go so far as to try to get the mother to agree to this label in front of millions.
It's not.
Whoa, that's not a bad thing.
That word is so
Oh my god. Oh my god.
mean.
Well, no,
My
I was meaning it in the clinical. The clinical sense is
No.
mental.
Bro, clinical sense. Dude, they haven't used the R word in like decades. What the fuck is this guy talking about?
Retardation.
Autism is not mental retardation. There's two. That's two. I'm not going to comment on that.
Well, I think it comes from the original, right? Like in music, retardandos, to slow down. But either way, that's fine.
You do you, boo-boo.
And if I sound overly
Yeah, that's like not even funny. And trying to convince the mom into saying something like that. Ugh.
sensitive or like I'm looking for a problem, Michael Scott knew this rule in 2006.
You don't call retarded people retards. It's bad taste. You call your friends retards when they're acting retarded.
Look, I am not the type to clutch my pearls and fixate on any word that could be seen as offensive for content, but like, if you take a character written 20 years ago, where the entire concept is that he is problematic and offensive, and find that he is satirizing your exact behavior, it might be a good time to reevaluate things. So normalizing and defending the use of that word in the context in which it directly contributes to bigotry, yes, is going to make people sympathetic to or affected by such language not like you. Also, there was this clip.
We don't listen to people that look like you.
Yo, me and Jimmy Robbins, we should do a podcast. We should do an interview podcast episode, okay? Where we can both bitch about Caleb, all right? I think that would be awesome.
You anymore. I don't know if you know this. You've lost all the power.
What does that even mean? Is it a woman thing?
No, SJW thing.
So you're saying
What is the context here?
Is going to make people sympathetic to or affected by such language not like you. Also, there was this clip.
We don't listen to people that look like you anymore. I don't know if you know.
Oh, we don't listen to people that look like you anymore. Oh my god.
Oh, you've lost all the power.
What does that even mean? Is it a woman
Yeah, I don't like expecting her to understand what you're saying is crazy.
thing?
No, SJW thing.
So you're sexist.
I said SJW. Is that women?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what SJW is.
I don't know what I'm saying half the time.
Well, then maybe you should stop and think for a minute.
So.
Yo, there are people that are like, I love Caleb Hammer. This is such good content.
Say that.
I can. I just did. What do you
like? Isn't the show about financial audit? Why are you calling her an SJW? What? We don't listen to people like you anymore. People that look like you. What the fuck is that?
Back. And again, we don't listen to people like you anymore. We really don't. You guys have no power. You guys were like,
who's we? What? Why? And you're calling her the R word? Like, bro.
0.5% of the population.
By the way, closeted hold on. We gotta back it up. Closeted homosexual that has DM leaks of them finding a 14-year-old attractive. Very crazy. And not just finding them attractive, but saying that they wanted to do things to them. Very crazy.
Population
I don't even know
online.
what SJW is.
You're a performative virtue signaling weirdo. We already know that.
Is that
like it feels so performative. It feels like he's very clearly saying these things because these buzzwords affect the audience.
Is that just because of the piercing and the color?
The color and the weird earrings that you made in a shed.
No, actually,
okay, piercing, a little bit of red hair dye, and earrings, and all of a sudden she's an SJW.
I purchased them from a museum.
Well, that's even worse. Because they look like they were made in a shed.
Let's step back a bit, because he's clearly referring to the cultural pendulum swinging back towards the right in recent years after having been somewhat farther left, during a time that was notably disliked for some online hyperfixating on word choices beyond intention or impact, going so far as to go a decade back on people's social media to find if any posts have aged poorly. And because of a bunch of factors, the global culture shifted back towards the right in recent elections. But let's focus on the US, where Caleb's from. As a consequence of that shift, a lot of people have reason for concern. Like the pendulum swinging back has led to an ongoing onslaught of attacks towards marriage equality,
by Justice Clarence Thomas, the senior conservative. He said in his opinion that he thinks it's time to take a look again at marriage rights. So anything can happen. It's on the table.
Reproductive rights.
South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham introducing a new federal abortion bill today. That bill proposes banning most abortions at 15 weeks.
Immigration.
She was detained following what they thought was a routine immigration hearing. The newlyweds say they followed every rule and thought they were taking the final step toward getting a green card.
The trans community.
We are hearing from one of the 17 transgender Air Force members suing the government over losing their retirement pay.
Women.
It's an idea that aligns with the right's intensifying calls to end no-fault divorce laws. No-fault divorce laws allow people to leave a marriage without having to prove one party's at fault in a lengthy court battle. Its existence has helped decrease domestic abuse and suicide for women.
And basically anyone that lives in a major city.
It's the enemy from within, and we have to handle it before it gets out of control. We should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military.
If we're being charitable, Caleb is indirectly relishing in these events as a gotcha for a quick clip. And uncharitably, he's openly celebrating this shift. And yeah, I acknowledge that Caleb didn't say anything about any of those people during that particular clip, but I don't think it's a crazy reach that using a societal shift to put someone down.
We don't listen to people that look like you, Jimmy Robbins, you SJW freak. We don't listen to people that look like you. That's such a crazy thing for him to have said.
Is going to make others that are affected by the consequences of this shift not like you. Also, that's the literal definition of implication, so. And this doesn't even mean necessarily—
And not just people that are affected, but also people that have any amount of empathy for people that are affected. You know, like if you're just like a normal dude and you're like, yeah, you know, like I think if a woman wants to get an abortion, she should, you know, have that right. You know, you're probably not going to be too fond of super right-leaning people that are like anti-abortion.
Necessarily trying to pass a judgment on
like I'm not saying pro-abortion, I'm saying pro-choice. Like let them have the choice to do it.
Where he has to place the line, because you don't need me to tell you. You have your own thoughts, but like his behavior is just so.
Because by the way, like these right-leaning people that are pro-life are the same people to judge someone for having a baby that they can't afford. And then like, you know, not being able to raise them. And then they grow up to be like some fucking degenerate kid because they had a bad childhood. Like, what do you want? You know, they want you to, they don't want you to abort the kid when you're not ready to have the kid. But then when you have the kid, they don't want to support you with anything. There's no government funding to help like, you know, underprivileged mothers or whatever the fuck. Like, yeah, there's welfare. How far are you getting on that? And do you want to live in those communities? And what are the results? Like what, on average, how well do those kids even perform?
So baffling to me, because what I'm saying, that's just how words work. Using mean ones gets you called mean, and that's what's so confusing here. And Caleb's other defenses, I think, are underwhelming, especially in terms of effectively attracting left-wing viewers. You see, Caleb's other defense for these clips is that they don't reflect his true values.
In fairness, man, you don't need left-wing viewers when the right wing is so terminally online. Look at Asmongold, look at Pegasus, look at Tectone, look at any of these right-leaning content creators. There are so many right-leaning audience members. Like they are just there for the taking. It is such easy money.
He doesn't hate the people being implicated in his language, therefore there's no harm.
I don't hate gay people. We have, someone say, too many gays working at this company. No, that's a joke again.
I mean, okay, I'm going to stop with the closeted jokes here.
Read a title that is outrageous and silly and you say I'm homophobic? You say I'm sexist? No, you're f***ing
Yes, it is.
Oh my God, bro.
The literal I have a black friend defense. Oh wait, no, he actually did that exact thing as well.
When I'm saying things like, oh, hey, you're doing something racist on your show, and your response is to call a black person on the phone.
I was just accused by a
Stop, there's no fucking way, bro. Oh my God. This guy's actually calling the homies. He's like, yo, tell him I have the N pass right now.
And that I am probably the most racist man out there. And Robert will always call me Robert, am I racist?
No, not.
Oh man. Like, there's not really any commentary I can offer to this. If you don't know why this is a fucking weird thing to do, like,
racist.
Okay.
My black friend is a token that gets me out of racism debates. Like, I don't know, maybe just explain why you feel you're not racist or how you feel or whatever the fuck, or explain what you said that somebody found racist and explain why it's not racist. I don't know. This is like not the way.
Well, thank you, Robert.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, my own opinion on that doesn't even matter because, again, image, right? Think back to iDubbbz. When he came out to disavow the tone of his Content Cop series, many came out and said that this apology was necessary despite some initially feeling differently. Specifically, their argument stemmed from their lived experience that when prominent figures normalize the use of derogatory terms in a casual context, it can enable those who want to use that language as intended to put down various groups.
Oh yeah, get that out of here.
Which, like, we literally started calling creators influencers specifically because of how notable it was to see ordinary people gain influence over culture and society. I mean, it literally became a trend on TikTok for men to use Sketch's catchphrase,
"Ladies, walk up to your man right now and say, 'What's up, brother?' with the finger up. Trust.
Simply because it was fun to say. Also, 6-7. Point being, there's a precedent to suggest that the language
Okay, man. All right, bro. All right. Wrap it up.
Normalized online can later work its way into how people talk. I mean, even beyond that, you're using language specifically designed to upset people of color or that are queer. So why does it surprise you that a black creator who identifies as
I'm a non-binary man, I use he, him pronouns exclusively,
doesn't like you?
Hey, Google AI, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Gemini stocks are through the fucking roof right now. Golly, what do you want me to say? That's awesome. Hell yeah. W.
And I have other problems with Caleb's argument. First is him framing himself as a victim of the market, that he's just playing the game, so you should get mad at the system, in this case YouTube, for rewarding his behavior.
Dude, I'm literally making content. What do you think you're doing? You're over-sensationalizing this for content. That's what I was doing there. Do you not know how YouTube works?
So you mean to tell me that as a business owner, you have to navigate balancing ethics with your ambitions? Yeah, no, that's a super unique problem. It's not like...
Yeah. But Jimmy gets it, bro. I fuck with Jimmy heavy.
It's one that literally every single business owner has to do. Hell, I would honestly say that if you've ever uploaded a piece of content with the hopes of strangers watching it, you've had to navigate those decisions on a smaller scale. Caleb is trying to ensure that his content appeals to people farther on the right. That is not up for debate in my opinion. Like, okay, I'm not going to pretend that I agreed with all of D'Angelo's points because I didn't. But ensuring that the thumbnails call attention to personal details that a left-leaning person would probably shrug at, while far-right people would get outraged and click to watch them get put in their rightful place, it doesn't really get much more blatant. And remember, everything included in a title or thumbnail is meant to serve a purpose. Okay, so Caleb coined the term LGBTQIA plus debt, and put in the thumbnail that the debt is gay. Homophobe or gay person?
What? This debt is gay, and I'm putting a rainbow flag over it. I wonder who this content is appealing to. I wonder. I mean, come on, man.
Who is more likely to click on that? All this is to say, I don't take gambling.
By the way, flash forward 2 years, 1 or 2 years. Caleb Hammer will disavow all of his content once the political shit changes and there's not as many conservative people watching content or whatever the fuck, because people are starting to lean more towards the left, especially in a post-Trump era. That'll definitely happen. And he's going to come out officially as a homosexual, and he's going to go, listen, I was a closeted homosexual. And my feelings, they were so repressed that I started making this content that was so negative towards gay people and so negative towards minorities and so negative towards anyone who was, bro, I promise you. Oh, I was so rude to SJWs. Bro, I cannot wait. Give it 1 or 2 years and everybody's gonna be like, look, Caleb Hammer, he changed so much. Like, what a good guy. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And he won't have changed because he'll have been the same person the whole time. The only difference is that now there's a different grift.
Gambling or crypto sponsors, if I can give up opportunities to better pay my rent, you don't need to comment on a woman's breasts upon sitting across from her. Caleb also argued that his guests are consenting to this treatment going in. They know the format of his show and they know it's being published. Two personal objections though. One, there's what we said about implication. Look, if I got my black, gay, disabled friend to sit next to me in the videos just so I can call him slurs and he agrees and willingly does it, that doesn't change the fact that I'm helping to normalize that language. Yes, trying to get away with referring to him.
And also that you're just a piece of shit. But yeah, of course, to normalize as well. But also you're a fucking asshole. Whether or not the person consents, you're a nasty piece of shit.
Mental disability with a slur is going to empower those who want to use it in the same way. Again, I wouldn't bother clutching my pearls if he said it as a substitution for dumb. Like, I didn't even mention Caleb saying it over 40 times during his response stream, at least according to Reddit. Though I can't actually fact check that because Caleb privates all of his live streams, which doesn't seem like the right choice for one that's meant to save your reputation, but alright. But come on, bro used the words biblical definition and is confused that people don't like him. And two, I don't think it's fair to call that informed consent. I understand this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think most people can wrap their heads around the scope and scale of his reach. Let me quickly explain. Decades of reality television tell us that people still vastly overestimate their ability to navigate a conversation being broadcasted by another interested party. Also, you think you know what it's like?
Especially when somebody who does this professionally is sat across the table from you. They clearly have the advantage. You're in their environment. You're going onto their platform, and they're the one editing the video and getting the last say. Like, these people that are signing up for this have no idea what the fuck they're walking into, even if they watch the content, because you expect a conversation to go a certain way, and no matter what, you will always lose because he gets the last say. And the whole point of the content is to make you look as bad as possible. That's what people want to see, is you look like an idiot.
It's like to have millions of people hate you until you've gone viral. Saying that the guests are choosing to go on is of course fair, but I don't think they know what they're getting into. They just think they do. Also, wouldn't financially desperate people be more likely to agree to unfavorable terms if this could be their only chance to catch up in an economy that's increasingly hostile towards the working class? Just saying. Also, if this content is meant to be so educational,
what if I get famous? What if I pop off? What if this makes me a lot of money in the long term? What if my Instagram, you know what I mean? Like, that's another thing that these people are probably thinking about.
Why are the guests so unrelatable? I don't know about you, but my previous tight financial situations don't sound anything like theirs. Almost like he's specifically seeking out people that would be—
That's the other thing. He is going for like people with the worst possible financial situations. Like, some of these guests, man, you're like, well, how is this possible? How like, there's,
easier to promote as freaks. All of this is to say that none of this matters, really at all. Caleb's audience, I have to guess, skews towards conservative men. So D'Angelo's pretty left-wing audience are probably not watching Caleb, meaning what they think doesn't matter. A cancellation only works if the outrage comes from within the creator's audience.
And now we get back to the thing that I always fucking talk about on this channel: echo chambers and algorithms. Until something changes, these people will get to run free and make as much money as they possibly can, because at the end of the day, D'Angelo's audience, they can cancel and dislike Caleb as much as they want. But if anything, that's just going to invigorate Caleb's audience of right-wing chuds that like his content anyways.
Usually by betraying—
And not despite of what he says, but because he calls a fucking autistic child the R word.
The value said creator integrated into their videos. In fact, despite how much conversation this whole situation drove, Caleb's still trucking along without even a hint of subscribers lost. And again, none of this is me trying to assert what the rules of YouTube are supposed to be.
Like, people like to talk about, oh, like, YouTube got rid of the subscriber number, so you can't really tell how many subs it is. It's not the exact number anymore. That's not what matters. The reason why people aren't getting canceled is because only people who want to watch that content are getting recommended that content. And when you're in that situation, it's incredibly hard to lose a viewer.
To be. While I do think some of his clips clearly do cross the line, again, you don't need me to tell you if certain words are bad or not, but I am going to call out his cowardly branding, which I think this is. Because one, if you can't deal with people not liking you, don't try to act like this tough bully when you're in control of the editing. Like, guess what? Using the publicity of this criticism to try to promote your course makes you look like a tool. That's fine. You chose to build a brand that relies on you having that image, but then you don't get to complain when people start saying you resemble a screwdriver, or, hey, making fun of people's appearances.
Just a little gay, fat Vietnamese guy that has a domineering clown goth woman.
Only to immediately get defensive when that's turned on you.
Oh, he's such a little gay boy.
A little gay boy?
Yeah. Colton, look at him.
You're one to talk, love.
Huh?
You're one to talk, love.
You're one to talk. She's owning his ass. What is he gonna say?
Why?
Why? I don't have. I'm sorry.
Why are you assuming?
Look at him get all defensive. Look at him get all soy.
That I'm gay.
It makes you look like a hypocrite. And two, stop hiding behind the
algorithm. All of a sudden, he cares about homophobia.
And just have the balls to say that you are comfortable embodying these values if doing so stands to make you a profit. So if Caleb's threats to D'Angelo have you worried for me making this video, let me assure you that no amount of legal trickery will be able to scare me into rescinding my criticisms of his business, because some of us actually maintain rock solid morals. But then again, he can just slide me 100K and those morals become more flexible, so give it some thought, all right? Bye!
Shout out Jimmy Robbins, great video. Awesome shit. Moral of the story, fuck Caleb Hammer, shout out Jimmy Robbins, and shout out D'Angelo Wallace.